Greetings, this is Stasia Bliss, and Bliss is in the house. My house, and I hope your house. I want to talk a little bit about how to embrace your authenticity, your authentic bliss. And what do I mean by that? What is your bliss? Well, I do have some books that go into that, namely The Chocolate Fast, but that aside, what is your bliss? What is my bliss? Because some people think bliss is like this heightened, buzzy state of feeling so connected and feeling so ecstatically high, and it is thought that this cannot be maintained, that this is just something we reach and then we come out of and we go back and reach for it again. But I believe otherwise. I think that our bliss is our natural state of being, the truth of who we are emanating from us. In yogic philosophy, there are 5 sheaths or 5 bodies, and the largest one that's connected to all that is called the Anandamaya Kosha. Ananda means bliss, the bliss body. And I believe that this is the truest interpretation of who we are, like at our most connected space. But that doesn't mean that that body is disconnected from the mind, from the emotions, from the physical body. No. Instead, as we connect to the truth of who we really are by embracing all aspects of self, all of the highs and the lows, the emotions that might arise, and saying to ourselves, this too is bliss, even in the height of what might feel like pain or something that feels wrong. If we can repeat to ourselves, this too is bliss, and begin to detach ourselves from the pleasure-pain response, I desire this, I don't desire that. You see, detachment doesn't mean you don't care. Detachment doesn't mean whatever happens, fine. Detachment means you are not entangled in the outcome, and your happiness is not dependent on the outcome. So yes, you may watch a myriad of things go by in the drama that is your life, but all the while equanimity, the bliss of who you are, is the observer, is the one watching and responding eloquently as best you can to what's coming through. Now that doesn't mean you never show emotion or signs of anger. That's ridiculous. I think that you're being closed off, that I'm being closed off if I don't acknowledge the energies flowing through me. It'd be like a symphony not playing all the instruments, just one of them playing and the rest of them trying to be like the other. No. When we feel the cosmic impulse, the expression through us of, say, anger, we learn how, at the same time, to express that anger, to observe it, to notice it, so that when it is dispersed, we can go, interesting, and not continue to hold on to it. In fact, when we are aware of it, then we will direct it and channel it in a constructive way, and not towards someone to break them down, not to be harmful or hurtful. So authenticity is, yes, realizing you're an instrument of the one life. You're an instrument of source. And these energies will come through you because you are an open channel for them. But how, with awareness, do we allow these to come through, observe them, direct them? We become much like the conductor in, yes, I feel this energy welling up, I'm pointing it here to this project. Yes, this emotion's coming, this is not good for that person at this moment, I will bring it over here and bring my tears to the earth, to the soil. And learning how to authentically not deny what's coming up, but direct and channel. And also to begin to notice that all these different emotions and feelings are, it's not that we are striving necessarily for one over the other, but that we are noticing them as colors, textures in the painting that is our life, continuing to be created moment by moment. Now that doesn't mean you don't, prefer something. I mean, I like chocolate a lot. If I don't have chocolate, I like to find some chocolate. But if I don't have it, I'm not going to go in a deep depression. I'm not going to go run quickly trying to find it. And the same thing with, joyful experiences. Yes, I, quote, prefer them. But I'm also open to seeing how this universal symphony is playing out through me. And I'm going to smile when things make me smile, yes. And I'm going to cry when things touch me in that way also. But let's take this idea of your authentic bliss just a little bit further now, beyond the emotions and beyond the responses, into, I want you to imagine that you are going to be somewhere for 60 days, that you were just going to be taken there alone, like a cabin in the middle of the woods, and nobody else is going with you. Perhaps you might have some visitors from time to time, but it's mostly just for you. And you are asked to pack and bring with you all those things that you would like to have with you, that you would like to do, that you would like, and you have access to any tool, any instrument, paint, music, whatever. So there's no limit to what you can bring. And the question is, what do you pack? What do you plan to do while you're there? Maybe you bring nothing. Maybe you just simply see what's there and become innovative. Or maybe you have things you like to do. Maybe you like to pull cards, so you bring your deck of cards. Maybe you like to make certain things like chocolate, like salad, so you bring those ingredients. Or you like to dress a certain way, and since you'll be alone, you don't feel inhibited, and so you bring those things. So I want you to contemplate for a moment what you would bring if you were to find yourself in that position, and contemplate how this is speaking to you of what your authenticity is. I have this sneaking feeling that sprinklers are about to go on around me because I just heard one coming on. So in that, I authentically just took a shower and don't really want to take another one in my clothes, but I do want to finish this up, so if that happens, so be it. I'm going to just go ahead and come to a close with this idea that you, exactly the person you are, that child self, that wonderful you that played what you played as a little girl or a little boy, is still in there, is still wanting to express and play and be just this is very similar, maybe more, like expansive way now, and to be able to find and tap into that and allow that to come through. There's nothing that says you have to conform, that you have to do what other people think you should do, that you have to dress a certain way, that you have to behave a certain way, and we grow up thinking we do. We grow up thinking we do need to have certain jobs, certain, behaviors, and when we can each start to embrace the truth of who we are, things pop up for us, magical things. We tune into that place where miracles happen. And that, quote, magical job, which isn't really work to you, to me, becomes the thing that can support us when we really trust that this is so. We may go through a period of adjustment as we're letting go of conformities and things that we think we should do until we can really truly surrender into who we are. And I guarantee that time will be shorter if we can just go through it and continue to embrace the us that we know is in there. Yes, this world has been a difficult one in the past for finding our place, but I believe more and more this new world is opening up to, I don't want to say assimilate, but provide space for each one of us to express our authenticity. And I think that's because within us, we are learning that we must do that in order to not just survive, but thrive. So embrace your bliss today. I love who you are when you do this. Your essence is enough. Thank you for being you, And namaste, my friend.